Welcome to Three Conservative Gimps. We've got a great show today. We're going to be talking about, some of the wacky Democrat city councilmen who are telling people, please don't call 911, call 311 instead. And then use words like I and we. So when someone's robbing your place, you say, I feel threatened. Could we talk about it? And maybe we could work to a solution to this problem. Really good common sense from city council people in New York City, and a congresswoman, uh, Cori Bush, who still wants to defund the police. So we got some brilliant Democrats who really don't care about our safety. So, and then we're going to talk about, well, the election is almost here. We got a little less than a month to go. And now the airwaves are flooded with campaign ads, not only on television, not only on the radio, but on YouTube and Facebook. I'm seeing ads all over the place from both sides. And it's like the Democrats, they're doubling down on abortion. They think that's the main issue that they could run on. So let's get this ball going. But before I do that, let's welcome everybody in the chat. I see Grant, Mr. Stay Drunk. Welcome, welcome. Mike B, aka the Drone Ranger. Then we have not Lloyd. I'm back to that again. Mel from 400 AGL. Welcome, welcome. And then Mickey McH. Welcome, welcome. And I think Dominic is probably watching from his car at the park in Australia. So let's get this ball going and let's get this lively debate going, shall we? Let's get going. All the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Let's welcome the effervescent Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, everyone, and how y'all doing? How you doing, Art?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm starting to look like you. Got the scruffy face going.
I actually shaved. I just didn't shave. I hate for the first, 36 years of mine and Judy's marriage. I had a mustache, and then one day when it started turning so white, she said, you need to shave that off." And then I was gone. But she here a while back, she says, "Well, if you're going to have facial hair, grow your mustache back and be done with it." So I'm attempting to do that.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
I'm attempting it. Yeah, right now it looks like a anorexic caterpillar under my
nose. All right, let's welcome our other Gimp all the way. He is an orangeman, but one of the good orangemen. All the way from Syracuse, New York. Let's welcome Mike Roach. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you back.
Good to be here.
Now, you're crackly again.
Am I crackly again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let me just change that. 1 second.
Okay. Thought we had that straightened out. That's why we have a pre-show.
Right.
He had it working. Something happened.
Yeah. And while he's playing around with that, let's welcome our other gentleman from the land down under. We're talking Florida. Let's welcome Adrian Mateo. Welcome, welcome, Adrian.
Adrian.
Good afternoon, Art.
He's our surrogate gift. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, Adrian. Glad to see you.
Definitely
glad to have him back.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I've been here.
It's been a while since you've been here. Yeah,
Yeah.
been a while since both of you have been here.
Right.
Yeah.
How am I sounding now?
You sound great.
Okay. Yeah, it's something to do with the software, I guess. Who knows? But yeah, good to be
That's
here.
what they're calling it.
Taking in that it's all that effervescence coming all the way from Lloyd out there, out
Yeah,
west.
that's it. Yeah.
And I like the
Oh yeah,
mustache, Lloyd. It goes well with your vlogging hat in the
it
van.
does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You like my new hat that I have wearing the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back to vlogging. You know, something I hadn't done in quite a while, and so figure I'll change up the look. But yeah, Judy got me that hat for my birthday, and I actually like it. It's a comfortable
Awesome.
hat.
Yeah, it
It looks
works.
good. Like it.
No.
So let's talk about some of the wacky ideas that Democrats have about, I don't know. Hey, look, I got an idea. Let's take fentanyl and you know what? We got too many people in jails. Hey, let's make that a misdemeanor instead of a felony. So if they get arrested, they could get a PR bond. How about that?
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Art, not Oh God Almighty, not well. Okay. I try not to beat the dead horse, but damn it, we're gonna beat the dead horse. Now, Lloyd, Art, Mike, everybody in the chat that's listening or watching, if I'm not mistaken, and I think I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said, Art, but isn't I think is Illinois where they actually passing a whole bunch of laws where it's completely legal for you to break the law and you will not go to jail
Oh
or you
yeah.
will not go to prison.
It's not just Illinois. It's
No,
here
No,
in
yeah.
Colorado. They made auto theft a misdemeanor now. And that's why we're number one in auto theft in the nation.
Also, if I come to Colorado now in my nice truck that it cost me $62,000, but you go ahead and
Wait a minute. They're only stealing cars under $15,000.
So you're
oh,
safe.
Hey, us working stiffs are the ones that are getting it in the shorts when it comes to auto theft.
Yeah.
Thank you, Governor Polis. And thank you, Democrat controlled legislature. Oh, and thank you, Brittany Pedersen, who's running for Congress in my district, CD7. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Carry
see,
on.
you got too high priced a car, Adrian, so they don't want to mess with it because
Yeah,
it'd
that's
stick
right.
out too much. Because
That would
Most-
make it a felony.
yeah,
well,
Mhm.
and I believe another reason why they won't really mess with my vehicle is that I don't take that very lightly, and I believe that. Well, here in Florida, I don't know about the state that you guys are in, but here in Florida, they always want to preach to me about, oh, you gotta lock your doors, don't leave any personal valuable stuff in the thief or whatever. But I have another theory. How about is my vehicle and part of my French, Mike, Lloyd, and Art, and everybody in the chat? How about is my vehicle and you stay the fuck out? Don't touch it. It's not your. How about we
Totally
do?
agree.
That
And
ought to
that's
be
the
a
way
law.
it should be. But there are jackwagons out there that don't give a shit. They just, well, it's not fair. He's got a nice car. I'm going to take it.
If I decide that I want to leave it running because I want to step in the gas station and get me a drink, nobody told you to get in because I didn't tell you to get in. The last time I checked, I paid for it. Your name is not on the note. Your name is
Yep.
not the title that I have on my possession. So who gives you the right to get in and haul ass with it? And then when I grab you and then I put a couple of these in your ass, now you want to take me to jail or take me to prison.
Mhm.
Right. And the thing is,
yeah,
what the difference does it make what the price of the car you steal is? Stealing a car is stealing a car.
Correct. And
You know?
yeah.
right,
Mhm.
Mike, right.
And
It should be a felony no matter what.
yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, and here in New York State, it's a blue state. It's very blue. Thankfully, I live in more of a purple area, and it gets redder as you go further north up into the woods and stuff. But you get down towards New York City, and the cashless bail and all that stuff. Thankfully, we don't kind of play that in our county. We have a good district attorney here, but uh, Kathy Hochul, our nut job governor, who wasn't even elected, she was just under Cuomo, no pun intended. Was just she's awful, and she
Yeah.
literally, I think she's crazy. So um, hopefully she loses the election, but tough
Well,
one.
Mike, hoping that she loses, but yet everybody always complaining and whining about the BS. But at the end of the day, you always keep bringing the same person back in power that's going to keep you
Right.
under instead of you coming up and doing better for yourself. It's like it's plain common sense. If you don't like the way you live, nobody have a gun to your head to make you stay in the hood or in the bad neighborhood. Do better for yourself and move the hell out.
Right.
Yep.
It does.
Right. Oh, trust me, I've
Eh,
considered it. But this is my home state. And trust me, I'm not the one keeping her in power. You know what I mean?
I
I
know
never
you're
voted
not,
for.
but the other idiots are.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
thing is, it's
If they want to live in a shithole, that's fine. Someone like you, Mike, they've got, you know, services uh, to for people like you and me and Lloyd that hey, we could take our money and get the hell out of there and move to another state where we feel safer.
yeah.
So, I'm voting like my wallet parts dependent on it.
I honestly wish that everybody would just have a little bit of common sense. I see so many idiots out there doing stupid crap every day, Lord, and I get to the point that I don't even want to cuss them out or call them an idiot. My thing is, I just said to them, I say, you know what? I'm not even gonna call you an idiot because if I do, I'm gonna give you too much credit. I'm gonna call you a genius. You are a freaking genius. That's what you are, a genius. But then,
Mhm.
then I mean, but if you're a genius, why don't you have X, Y, and Z? Why are you mad that Adrian is doing a little better than you?
Yeah.
I think I've
Well,
said this before, Art, Lloyd, and my kind of people in the chat. That where I come from is a third world country, and I'm in the. And again, a lot of people call me, oh, you're nothing but a sucker. You're nothing but an Uncle Tom. Blah 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 blah. All those words go from one ear, come out the other one. Because at the end of the day, I tell them, you're not the one that pay my bills, fool. This company do,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I get paid because of the sweat that comes from my forehead every single day. So you could say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, what are you doing for yourself?
Right. And the
Mm-hmm.
notion of referring to someone as an Uncle Tom or so, those, how stupid is that argument? You know what I mean? You're working for a living. How is that being an Uncle Tom?
And
Yeah.
not just that, Mike, is always all about when you actually preach to them and give them a little bit of knowledge, they always want to go back to the racist BS. They
Right.
never want to come back to me with some knowledge and common sense like I actually preach to them. They all want to come to me and be, oh, you all want to be under the white man, or oh, you all want the white man to do better than you. What about yourself? I say, well, wait a minute. The last time I checked, my truck is paid for. I've been here for 18 years. You're still driving the same truck that I've known you from the time I started working here. So what are you doing for yourself? I got
Right.
property. You don't have. You
Yeah.
live in an apartment. So quit
Yeah.
preaching about BS and do better for yourself. I'm good the way I'm at.
I get an example because Monday is Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, depending on where
Right.
you live in the world. And I happen to live in when we call Oklahoma red state, it's not necessarily referring to our politics because I actually now, thanks to McGirt, I live on a reservation. So, but my granddaughter, we Friday, the first time we'd seen her in about 6 years. Our granddaughter has finally got her life clean. She's working. She bought her own car. She's doing good. She got away from her mother.
Amen
My
to that.
daughter got, my daughter is lost cause. She's gone too far over the edge, and she's away from all that, and she's finally doing her life right. But when the last time she got arrested was at the first year, and she'd been clean, but she got picked up on not paying fines, and she says, I want to go back into a rehab and start over. And she's been out she was only in for a few days, and then they got, because of McGirt, they gave the Cherokee Nation gave her one last chance. Says, this is it. Next time you're going to federal prison. Into conversation. We're through with you.
Yeah.
And she's been working very hard, and but she was talking about, her health care. Well, my son James, who is a police officer, uh, he is, he's like myself. We're European Americans, and or whatever you call it. We're white folks, okay. And but we were talking, and she was talking about everything that the nation provides her. She has insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, provided by the Cherokee Nation, and it was talking about all of these things that she has provided for her by the nation and or the American government. And then James says, "Well, I wish I had that." He says, it's it takes everything I can just to pay my health insurance through the state. And he has to pay for his health insurance. He has to go through all this. His deductible is ridiculously high. She has a zero deductible. And I looked at him. I said, "Well, son, you know why you're so well off, because of that white privilege that you've got there." I said, "You and me got white privilege, and here this poor indigenous granddaughter of ours, she's just suffering." And of course, my granddaughter just busted up laughing. And James looks at me and says, "But Dad, I'm still trying to figure out how that white privilege works." I said, "Well, they need to divide it in two different things. There's white privilege, and then there's white trash privilege. Now, my daughter, she has white trash privilege, which means she gets everything handed to her through DHS and all of that stuff. Whereas my son and I, we just got plain white privilege. We don't get shit."
Yeah.
Where do you sign up for that white trash privilege? Because I'm kind of trashy.
Boy.
Yeah. It's like, I'm missing a tooth now, so I can say I got white.
There you go.
I got white
but
trash
Lloyd,
privilege
you got
too.
that. It's perfect for when you're smoking your cigarette. You could just stick it in there, and you could
stick it in there. And
hey, no hands.
Whoop, no hands. Yeah. It's perfect for that.
Formerly nicotine-stained fingers, you could say nicotine-stained teeth.
It's
Actually,
it's kind of like what you said, Lloyd. I remember when I first moved to Gainesville in 2007. I actually saw a nice, beautiful apartment complex. It was kind of like close to the, I guess what people like to call the hood, the ghetto, all the stuff. But apartment looks very beautiful, very nice. So I go. It was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Again, the rent was gonna be nice and affordable. But then when I go in there, the guy that took me through, I guess the apartment manager, took us through. We were ready to just sign the lease right in and there. He asked me, "Well, where do you work at?" Told him where I work at. "Well, man, where do you work at?" She said, "Where she worked at." Before we even went upstairs to sign the paperwork, he said, "You guys don't qualify." I started laughing because I'm thinking, you know what I mean? He was just trying to be, trying to crack a joke, because I'm always, joking or being, personable or whatever.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, so I don't even know why the hell you're laughing at. You guys don't qualify." That's when I put on my husband daddy, hat, and I said, "Well, what in the F are you talking about?" He said, "Well, you guys make too much." I said, "Wait a minute, we make too much?" I said, "I've never heard anybody tell me that." I say, "No, this is actually for low income people." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "People here only pay $50 a month. The rest comes from the government."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, the last time I checked, these people rent actually being paid because of me. So why are you going to decline me to get the apartment, but yet you're going to give it to them who can't even pay the rent a month?" He said, "Well, that's just end the story. You know what I mean? We can't talk anymore. You guys going to have to leave."
Wow. Yeah, and
there
are
for
people
low
that need
income. Yeah,
there are people that truly need the help. But when you got people like a couple of my grandkids, my grandsons, and my daughter who have gamed the system for so long. You
That
know,
people, Lord, a lot of people game the system, and I don't believe that
yeah,
the
Yeah.
people who do that don't deserve it. The people that really deserve it can't even get it sometimes because
yeah,
people are gaming the system.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And the system is
And
set up in
that
a
are
in a
people,
way that discourages you, like saying you make too much, you're unqualified. So stay poor and stay
yeah,
under our thumb. And
yeah,
that's
Yep.
what the system wants, frankly.
yeah.
A lot of
My
people.
daughter gets Social Security disability because she's a drug addict, and she's fried her mind so bad now she's a psychotic drug addict. You know, or
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
and it's just like it just and you know we our boys aren't like that. We didn't raise her like that. We didn't do drugs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
damn sure. You know, I may have. You know, we may have drank it for a little. You know, some at a party or friends, but you know, we didn't. Nobody. You know, I was anti drug as could be. You know, and where she got this from is beyond me. But she's 50. I don't know, 52 years old now, or
Hanging
51 years old
around the
now.
wrong people, Lloyd. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
yeah. When we
Hanging
started
out with
out,
wrong
we lived in a
friends.
very
Yep.
we was very poor. I had a job at a convenience store, but I was still paying rent and bringing in, we were Judy and I both worked to pay the bills, but our bills were paid, and then when finally my disability kicked in when I was diagnosed with MS, and the the government says, "Oh, by the way, we might have exposed you to something really nasty, and that's why you've got MS." So all that nuclear stuff that you handled, yeah, well, that probably caused it. So here you go. And I'm like,
You know,
okay,
Lloyd,
all
you
right.
were lucky you weren't at Camp Lejeune.
Oh, gosh, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
That's
Especially,
because hey, you weren't drinking that polluted water. No, you were just handling
depleted
chemicals
uranium.
and
Yeah, yeah. Agent Orange and depleted
radioactive
uranium. Yeah,
materials.
yeah. But I didn't drink that nasty ass water, so that's good.
Yeah, that's right.
you know,
It's
you,
like, hey, Dad, why is this water cloudy? Oh, go ahead, son,
Yeah.
drink it. It has fluoride.
you,
Nitrine says I drank Flint, Michigan water as a child. Yeah.
and
Well, that explains that.
guys, I've been listening a lot about and trying to study up on what I guess the government called the PPP loan or whatever it is.
Mhm.
I don't
Hmm.
know if you guys been paying attention to that, but I've been listening to the news a lot where I'm doing my own research again because I don't just go about what people say. I like to do my own research. Like a lot
Right.
of people don't do it; they just listen to one source of news and they think they're right every time. But anyway, my helper, who's not my helper anymore, because as of Friday he can't work with me anymore because he's nothing but an idiot. And the way we hated out Friday, that was the last straw. Well, he was telling me Thursday how he got the PPP loan, and he was actually bragging about how somebody went ahead and did it for him, even though he wasn't qualified, but they gamed the system and he got the loan. And all he did,
Ah,
and all he did was
well, when he gets caught, he's going to pay a hefty fine.
correct. But according to him, because again, these liberals, you can't tell them anything, Lloyd, Art, and Mike,
Yeah.
because they know everything.
Well,
right,
They know
mm-hmm.
Of course I
everything.
do.
So
right.
he actually went ahead and gamed the system. He got over 30, 40 grand. He went ahead
Mm-hmm.
and paid the person that went ahead and helped him fill out the paperwork 8 grand. So he's over here cheesing about getting money, bragging, drinking, doing whatever, and buying cars, paying his rent for a whole year, yada 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 yada. But he never used the money for what he was supposed, what he intended. You know what I mean? To use it
Yeah.
for. He blew it on BS. Now he have nothing to show for.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
besides, he doesn't have a business. You know, I have a business. I didn't qualify because, well, I'm the sole owner, and but my business wasn't uh, around long enough. I wasn't, accruing enough income, so I didn't qualify for it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know how he did it, unless he got some crooked guy that knew how to cook his books and get him that PPP loan, because that's for companies to pay their employees.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
wasn't it
Say
payroll
you have a
protection?
company that has 100
Payroll protection plan,
employees,
yeah.
you sign up for it because you paid into it. And it's a grant, so they don't have to pay it back. So
Yeah.
they give that money, and that was an emergency during the pandemic to keep these companies from going belly up because
Yeah.
they had no
Yeah.
income coming in while they were shut down.
Now, I need to, while we're on this subject about this stuff and government grant, anyways, I need to warn everybody that's watching us, or warn the
We
people
are
on the panel
not
here.
financial advisors.
Right.
No, but I also want to warn us, we do not want to send out any false information because we'll be fined $2,500 by PayPal.
Like, yeah, PayPal.
This
Well, they
is
backed
all
off that
opinion,
quick.
guys.
They
Do your
backed off, but
right,
they
Lloyd?
got, because they were feeling the heat.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said, Lloyd?
What's that?
These are all opinions that we're giving. We're not
That's right.
what to do.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's
So if you
right.
wanna-
These are simply our opinions.
Yeah, but
know.
my opinion apparently is disinformation. I've been
Yeah.
knocking the Facebook
Yes, that's-
shell,
Mhm.
for just
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah,
And
I know.
it's
Hey,
ridiculous.
you know what? Maybe we ought to go buy Twitter.
There you go.
Thing is that
So
I don't want to look at Elon Musk as the savior of anything either, because he is, when it comes down to it, to the left,
Yeah.
and,
He's libertarian, but he's also, he's the kind of big business where rather than kowtowing to the liberals necessarily,
Lloyd.
he's kowtowing to his
The right
pocketbook.
word, Lloyd. He's a hybrid. He's between and He do both sides. He
Yeah.
sleeps with
Mhm.
the devil when he wants to, and he comes back to the right side when he
Yeah.
wants to. That's what he does.
and that's how
Yeah.
Donald Trump was too.
That's
No,
true.
he was like the biggest thing to the Democrats, but by God, when he ran as a Republican for president, oh boy, all hell broke loose, and they hated him.
You got to play the game, and that's one thing that I actually have respect for that guy, Donald J. Trump. He knows how to play the game and get exactly what he wants when he wants it. Period. And
Mhm.
so, and if you don't like, if you don't like what you stand for, he will literally tell you, "Here's the finger, not the middle one. I'm giving this one out of respect. If you don't like it, jump off a cliff, point blank."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, with Trump, unfortunately, when he went in to drain the swamp, all the swamp creatures, tried to pull the rug out from under him. All the bureaucrats.
How stupid are these politicians to allow this to happen?
Exactly.
Pretty stupid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art,
And I got
Art,
more.
that's perfect, Art.
And we
That
say
was perfect.
bye-bye.
That was perfect timing, Art. perfect timing.
That was perfect timing. Yeah. And that's,
Hey, Lord, it
That's
seemed
the
like he was
thing.
practicing for that moment to hit that.
I think he was just waiting for it. All we had to do is mention Trump and he had it ready to go. Yeah.
And the
You know-
answer is
Yeah, exactly. What is the answer? The answer is the sad thing about it is it's like you said, Mike, there was a bureaucracy. The bureaucracy of the U.S. government has become a self-aware entity.
Right.
It lives, it lives and breathes. It goes on no matter who's in office, no matter whether it be the Senate, the House, or the White House. It doesn't matter because it's still clicking along. They're still spending that money. They know how to game it. They know how to play it.
Well, the thing is, our legislatures have set up this bureaucracy that's all where they could just they pretty
they don't
much
have to
given
work.
away their own power to these
Yeah.
bureaucracy, and
Yeah,
it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It's like,
I brought-
if we want to get through this inflation, hey, I don't know, maybe we ought to, how about freeze spending for 5 years? That would probably put a big dent in the inflation
You know
and the deficit.
what I find ironic is that we haven't had, our government has not had an actual working budget that's been approved
Hmm.
in what, 16 years now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
yet the government still just clicks along tickety boo. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Well,
Yeah.
isn't that amazing?
the people in office never are going to be around when the stuff hits the fan. They'll be out of office. They'll be lobbyists for some big corporation or on the board of Raytheon. It's the right and the left that do this
Hmm.
Yeah.
crazy spending, and
Oh yeah, they're both as guilty.
yeah, and
You know.
they get it in government, and then they go out and then milk the system. And we've had them
Yeah.
here, and we got that snake Schumer, one of our senators here in New York, who remember the quote he said, the the justice system has like 6 ways to Sunday to get you, or something like that, talking about President Trump. And
Yeah.
sure enough, the FBI was working on behalf of Clinton and Obama to undermine Trump. And
Yeah. I know. It's just uh I don't know that, you know, the problem is we've got so many when you look at it, the amount of liberals that are really out there. I mean, the far left, the loonies, they're the ones that are running things as far as getting people elected. And if we're even slightly right of center anymore, you're considered a right wing extremist, like the people at Ruby Ridge.
Semi-fascist.
Yeah, well, like those people at Ruby Ridge, or the Branch Davidians, or some crazy group like that. That's what they consider us. Even if we are just slightly right of center.
Hmm.
And because, but they're the ones that seem to be able to. We we got to find people that can take that power away from them. It's time for the. They always. I heard it back. I don't know when Trump was in office, or back even when Bush 43 was in office. They were talking about the one percenters, the one percenters. You know something? The one percenters are them little limp wristed, fluffy, purple haired people out in San Diego. Those are the one percenters. Let's get
Hmm.
rid of all them frou-frous that are running around out there, and let's get some real people that know what they're doing, and let's stand up to that 1%, because that's the real one percenters right there. Not the 1% that are millionaires, but the 1% that are out there with their, you know, left wing ideology. So I talked to my son for my first marriage here a couple weeks ago at my birthday, and I was telling him, we are talking, and he's got a daughter that she lives in Oregon. She went to college in Oregon. She stayed in Oregon, and she's like a lot of the Oregonians. She's gay, and I said, fine, let her be gay as long as she doesn't expect me to run the rainbow flag up my red, white, and blue flagpole. Well, then we ain't got a problem.
Hmm.
you know. But they expect us, if we don't put a rainbow flag out there, then we're, and a Black Lives Matter flag out there, you know, we're racist, fascist,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're homophobic and you
Yeah,
anti the LGBT,
Xenophobic.
yeah.
yeah, xenophobic, yeah,
Now,
you know,
guys, I'm sure you guys know that Bill Maher is a big old liberal idiot.
yes,
But
Yeah.
now, just about every liberal hates him because he literally went ahead and said that Kamala Harris is an idiot. She doesn't even know what the hell she's doing
Yep.
anymore. Did
Hmm.
you guys see that, by the way? Because now he's being attacked, a lot by the left, saying about how
yeah,
Hmm.
dare he talks about the vice president, blah 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 blah, all this BS. But the last time she spoke, all you heard was cricket.
The
Nothing.
passage, the passage of time
yeah,
is about time for the passing of time. And
Yeah.
without the passing of time, there's no future. And with the future, there's the passing of time.
and you know what's scary is the fact that somebody as young as she is sounds more confused and demented than somebody as old as Biden. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just sad. What's she going to be like when she's Biden's age?
One thing about her too, if you've ever noticed, when she speaks and she's in front of an audience, she'll say something and then she'll look and she'll shake her head like this, like right, right, right. Like she's
Yeah.
so
Oh yeah,
sure of
like yeah.
herself.
Oh,
She doesn't know what she's talking. She
Yeah,
even
like she wants
Uh-huh.
like she wants to check. Like, do you agree with me? Am I
yeah,
right? Am I saying the
right,
right thing?
Yeah.
The moon is made of green cheese.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
remember
yeah.
Arsenio Hall used to.
Oh my God! It's just it's sad that we've got politicians like that in the position of power,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, we got a president who's tell him, Putin, hey, you're ready, we're ready for Armageddon, and it's like, oh no. What I don't understand is when the White House doesn't support that state. Well, wait a minute, I thought he was the damn White House. Who the hell's in charge if he's not? But yet, every time the president says one thing, the White House says something else. No wonder people are confused in this friggin' country. They don't even know who the hell's in charge anymore.
Wait a minute, Lloyd. You gotta be careful. You're talking too loud because right now, as of 7:00 p.m., the president's sleeping. He's asleep. He's taking a nap.
Yeah.
You have to be respectful. He's sleeping right now.
Hey, I take naps at 7:00 and then I wake up and watch shows like Green Bay
Yeah,
Wax.
but do you
at
eat your
midnight.
Jello or do you eat pudding?
I don't eat either one. I don't do either one. There's something slimy sliding down
Well,
my
I
throat
haven't
just
had
doesn't
a
appeal to
pudding
me.
in so long, boy.
Yeah,
That sounds tasty.
something
All
about
right,
the
guys,
texture of.
it is about time we switch
What's
to
our next-
another topic. We are in the middle of election season here,
Yes, it is.
and the ads are running. I mean, they're everywhere. We yard signs are coming up. Just today on the way home from out flying today, saw a bunch of yard signs. I'm like, yeah, it's about time. Since I don't watch TV much anymore, I'm still seeing campaign ads on the over the air TV programs like Heroes and Icons and Me TV. And we're starting to see campaign ads there. But it's not only there and on the radio, but it's also on the internet. I'm starting to see ads on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm saying a good 75% of them are Democrats. And what is the big issue they're talking about? Abortion. They're saying, oh, Joe O'Dea, he's too extreme for Colorado. He wants a national ban on abortion. He's never said that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we got Brittany Pedersen, who's running for Congress in the district that I'm in. And she's saying, I will protect your right to have an abortion.
Right.
And it's like,
the thing is,
how is that going to get food on my frickin' table? How is that going to put gas in my tank so I can get the frickin' work?
Right.
You dumb broad.
Plus, they're making a mistake in that not all women are pro-abortion. There's this assumption that all women are just you're taking away their so-called rights. It's got to be at least 50-50 in terms of pro-life women out there. So just because I think they're making a mistake, but that's been their sacred cow for 50 years now.
Well, if you think about it, Mike, it's like what the liberal females say: "My body, my choice. If you don't like it, kill yourself."
Right. Unless you don't want to get a shot.
Exactly.
It's not your body anymore.
And the last time I checked, there's a lot of pregnancy prevention methods you can actually do, like the day after birth control. Have you heard of condoms? It starts with a C.
Hey, you know what the number one prevention of of pregnancy is?
Stop sticking your Johnson in the hole. That's it. Don't
It's
do
called abstinence.
it.
Oh,
Exactly.
Works every time.
I thought you
when
had
my
ugly women.
yeah, well, I think when my granddaughters got to the age that I knew that they were going to start, being, sexually active, I give each one of them a quarter. I said, "This is for birth control." And I said, "You mean to buy?" I said, "No, stick it between your knees and don't drop the damn quarter, and you won't get pregnant."
There you go. There you go.
All those coins hit the floor, huh?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Because my one granddaughter that I just talked about, she's got 5 kids.
Yeah.
And
Hey Lloyd, for that comment, you need to get in the corner for 30 minutes. You in trouble, buddy. 30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah. Yeah, I know, but yeah, I mean, apparently because I've got, well, let's see, actually my son from my first marriage, I should have bought him a whole roll of quarters because he's got 10 kids of his own. Just one has 10 kids. It's like,
Wee.
Wow.
yeah, like
Wow.
Jesus, don't you know what Vince said? He said, "Dad, I had it fixed. It unfixed itself."
He got an army, Lloyd. He got an army.
Yeah, he does. He's
Yeah,
got
he's-
just
He's one short of a
one short of a
football team.
football team. Exactly. Yeah, he's one short of having a cricket team.
There
Oh.
you go. Well, he's got enough for a basketball team.
Yeah. Yeah, and from what I understand, there's at least one of my grandsons is about 6'2", so he's
There you go.
he's getting up there. But yeah, it's just like
Yeah, maybe he
but-
gets signed up with the Oklahoma Thunder.
I doubt it. He doesn't live in Oklahoma. He lives in Colorado.
Ah, okay. He can play for
lives
the
in-
Nuggets.
Yeah, there you go. He lives in Grand
But he's
Junction. So
white. Unless he's a European white.
no. He's not white. He's not white.
Oh,
He's Latino.
there you go. Maybe if he went over to Europe and played in
His
Bulgaria or Eastern
grandmother-
Europe and had an Eastern European sounding last name, he'd probably
Yeah,
get
well,
signed.
his last name's Mendenhall, so it's not much choice of that.
Oh, okay.
Pretty white, but yeah, he's like 1/8. I think his great grandmother was full blood. Of course, when I grew up, she was from Colorado. She was from a long line of family that had been there since the conquistadors,
Oh.
And but she was Mexican, and now they're Latinos.
Ah, okay.
I told my son he's a little too pale to be Latino, but he.
Well, you
He
could
looks
be
like-
like Zimmerman. He's a white Latino.
Right.
Or you could
Oh
do
yeah,
it Harris. She's half black and half Indian.
Oh,
Right.
she's Blindian.
blend in. Yeah,
There you go. Because if I'm not
I-
mistaken, her mother's the one that have that says I'm here.
yeah. Well, I've got some blending great grandkids. They're
Mhm.
part black and part Native American, but they're still Indian to me.
Kind of a blended malt Scotch.
Oh my God, yeah, we've got every we got Cherokees, Creeks, Choctaws, then we've got blacks, we've got Latinos, and then there's poor old grandpa and grandma. We're just plain old white milk toast. It's just it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. Latinx or
Latinx.
pinks or whatever they.
Latinx.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is,
So I think the Democrats, the reason they're running on abortion is they don't want people to know
About the
all the
Yeah.
stupid stuff they've done to wreck our economy and to give us this high crimes.
they don't
Well,
want
like-
to talk about the economy. That's it. That's what
Mhm.
it comes
Yeah,
down to.
that's
And-
right.
The polls are really starting to, they're for a little bit right after the abortion thing hit for about 30 days, within about 2 weeks to 30 days after the abortion issue was set by the Roe versus Wade was reversed. They got a good bump for a little bit. But
Mhm.
now, and people were coming out of summer where they weren't really paying attention. Suddenly they started, like, oh yeah, abortion. And all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, what the hell's abortion got to do with $3.50 a gallon gas. What's
Mhm.
abortion got to do with me having to now pay, $400 a month for electricity when last year at this or 2 years ago at this time I was paying $150? What's abortion got to do with why
Yeah.
can't we have our air conditioner on
How
in
about
California?
car insurance? Here in
Yeah,
the Denver metro area, we've got the highest car insurance rate in the whole flippin' state
yeah,
because our idiots in the state house decided, well, you know what? We got to be equitable. Let's make auto theft a misdemeanor. Oh, how about possession of fentanyl? Let's make
yeah.
that a misdemeanor. So, and not only are we number one in auto theft, we are number two in fentanyl overdoses.
Yeah, yeah. And here's the thing.
Here's to you, Jared Polis.
Let's not talk about any of that stuff. Let's keep abortion on the front burner because
Mm.
we don't want to have to talk about that. And that's what they're doing. And the polls are starting to show that the American people, and the other thing you got to look at, and I listened to several different people talk about this. Don't look at because a lot of those polls are, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Adrian. But, I may have my whole cabinet right here, the beginning of my cabinet right here.
There you
Because
go.
there's my VP
Vice,
right there.
Vice
And,
President.
you
We
know,
got
and,
Secretary of Transportation.
yep,
and,
and,
Secretary of Sanitation.
Of who?
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I said defense, he said sanitation, so.
No. I want to be in charge of the ice cream cones. Hell no.
Oh,
Okay, all right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't want you just working in the kitchen, Adrian. I need you to have an
But
important
if
job.
if you think about it, Lloyd, if you and I want to take a nap, you want ice cream, call me and I'll bring it to you.
There you go. That'll do it. Yeah.
Mhm.
But this is the thing. We got this. The way these polls have been rigged lately is, of registered voters. You don't want registered voters. You want likely voters. That's where
Right.
that's where you watch
Mhm.
the breakdown. Because if you look at the likely voters, people that are actually going to vote, because hell, there's a lot of people registered ain't voted in several years.
Yeah, that's,
Right.
And I mean, look at all the dead people that are registered. That well, they're
Mhm.
likely voters too. So
Yeah.
And I've been called a couple times by pollsters. I just hang up because I want nothing to do with them. The
And-
questions are always structured in a certain way.
certain way that they're going to show a certain skew. Exactly.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
you can't give
Right.
your own answer. So I just don't bother. So I'm hoping that the polls, just like in 2016, when they thought they had it in the bag, and then Clinton lost big time, and
Yep.
and then they rigged
That's
it in 2020.
I was listening to Ted Cruz the other day talking, and that's what he said. He says, I think it's going to be a much bigger, he says, we could be looking at maybe 30 seats in the House.
I hope
Yep.
so.
And it's like,
Oh,
I
and
hope they do
the number
something
one
with it.
pollster is Trafalgar. They've been very accurate for several years. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I've been following their polls in the Colorado races, and Jared Polis is polling under 50%. And whenever you're under 50%, that means the margin of error gets smaller, and the undecideds are a much bigger factor. And Jared Polis just dumped another $11 million into his campaign of his own money. He's self-funding his campaign because,
yeah,
when he left Congress, he was worth $300 million.
So is it official, Lloyd, Art, Mike, anybody in the chat? Is Trump running 2024 or he's not? Because
I have no idea.
I have no clue. And I
Yeah.
think
Haven't
he's
got-
honestly,
Obviously,
I think
we
he's
don't
going to
know.
wait. I think
Yeah.
he's going to wait to see what the midterm does.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and he'd be smart if he'd be so much smarter because that could be just the wrench that might throw a couple of these things over.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because
and
only
I think
because only God knows that no president has ever gotten over 80 million votes, but Biden did.
Yep.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, that's still, yeah,
They cheated.
that's still,
They
but,
cheated.
yeah.
When you
But
put
you cannot say that they stole
Well,
the election.
listen,
Say that.
when I know he stole it from me because I put flowers on everybody's graves at the cemetery out here, and not a damn one of them voted for me. But Biden seemed to have all sorts of dead people vote, so I know damn well he stole it.
Nobody voted for you, right, Lloyd?
None of the dead people did that I paid. I went out there and I put week after week. I put flowers on every grave. We have like 4 cemeteries in Muskogee.
But Lloyd, they
And
voted for him though. Dead
yeah,
people-
that's what I mean. He stole all my dead votes. You know, that's just not fair.
Well, hey, Lloyd, to be fair, I think you got a vote from Richard Milhouse Nixon.
Yeah, he did be, but he's family, so you know you gotta you take that into account. Yeah, old Tricky Dicky, he's
Ricky
actually
Dick.
he's a con artist like the rest of my family. You know.
the thing is,
And
about-
also, the Trafalgar poll showed that in CD7, that Brittany Pedersen, even though she's leading in the polls, she's under 50%, but by a bigger margin. I think she was polling something like 47, 46%, and Odlin was like at 43. So the margin of error is really small. And you got to remember, Colorado, 40% of the registered voters are unaffiliated.
Yeah.
They're the biggest group right now. And then the
Biggest voting
Democrats
bloc,
are
yeah.
like 32, and the Republicans are like 28. They're the smallest group. So
Yeah.
it's going to be the unaffiliates that are going to decide this race. And I think with the economy being as shitty as it is right now, I think that's going to be the deciding factor. That and the high crime that's going on here, especially in the Denver metro area.
Well, and I think that's everywhere. I think that's
Mhm.
I think crime and now look at we're coming into getting ready to head into winter, and oil,
Mhm.
you know, heating
Yeah.
oil, stuff like that. With what Saudi Arabia just did, and they were smart because they need to keep the dollars rolling in, and if they flood the market like they did a couple years ago,
Yeah.
you know that the Saudi family found themselves in a bit of trouble there with their people because they weren't able to pay out and take care of their people like they were. And so they, because, hey, they're paying to stay in power. You know, they may be the
Mhm.
royal family of Saudi Arabia, but, but they're paying to stay in power because, when you have the Arab Spring, they survived it, but a lot of governments didn't over there. And, so that's why
anything like Irish Spring?
No, they don't. No, the difference is because they can't dance a jig like the Irish people can. Because have you ever
Okay.
have you ever tried
they'll
dancing a
trip
jig in
over
those
their
robes?
robe.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going. That's scary. You
Mhm.
knew where I was going with that.
and over there, the women aren't allowed to say, "And I like it too." You know,
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Smells like a camel, and I like it too.
Well, I'm unaffiliated because it was basically useless to be a Republican or a Democrat or whatever in New York State, and so I'm just not registered in a party, because the Republicans can be just as disappointing as the
Yes, they
Democrats.
can. Yes.
Yep.
The Republicans talk one way, and then they get in office, and then they just roll over and play dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And
Mhm.
that's why I'm hoping the next round of politicians that get in there are the ones that are going to finally stand up and do their job. But
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
hope so.
I hope so too. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to be surprised if they don't, but it would be nice.
Right.
Yeah, it
You know,
would be
I hope
nice.
they don't spend too much time like we're going to investigate. No, let's take care of the economy, and then you can do all that later.
This
Yep.
question goes for all three of you guys, including the chat. What are the chances that in 2024 we're going to have the Senate, House, and the White House? What are the chances?
Fairly good, I would say.
Yeah, I
Fairly
think
good,
it's
yeah.
fairly good.
I will
Well, I
put it
think
about
with the House, it could be a smaller lead because usually in a presidential year, uh, some of the House flips have flipped in like lean Democrat areas. They usually flip back, so maybe our lead might be not as big, but we'll still be a majority.
yeah. I
But the yeah.
I
Same
want to
in the
put it
Senate
probably
because we could, it could be back down to 51-49. I think
yeah
after this election, it's going to be at least 53-47,
yeah
possibly 54
yeah yeah
46.
yeah. And it depends. And to be honest with you, it depends on who's running. I mean, it
Yeah.
really does
Mm-hmm.
because as much as everybody would have liked to have seen Trump reelected, I don't know that he's necessarily electable at the moment. Because, and I supported Trump 100%. I still do, but I think his problem is he's just a little bit too. He's a little too divisive,
Yeah.
and I think we need somebody
Too
that's
much
got the
ego.
charisma. Well, hell, everybody up there has an ego. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's
Right.
look at
The thing is,
Ted Cruz,
natural
DeSantis.
fit
yeah,
would be DeSantis.
yeah, I
DeSantis
think so
has
too.
got everything going right, and I love Trump, just like you said, Lloyd. I love him
Yeah,
and what he did. He went in there and he smashed up the furniture, and now
yeah,
we need someone who knows a little more about government and doesn't have the baggage. And DeSantis, everything he touches is done right, and
Mm-hmm.
and
you
and he
know,
got he got the backing from Trump, and that's
right,
that's
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that's what he's going to be looking at. Because Trump, I don't think. Yes, he's got an ego, but I don't think he wants to make it so that we lose everything. I think he wants
Yeah.
to
Then
put
he
the
has
right
no
man in there.
power because if he loses the House and the Senate, you know what's going to happen? Impeachment all over
Impeachment
again.
again, yeah.
Mhm.
And he's a
January
smart
6th,
man.
impeachment, January 6th. He's everything of the above. He's bad for the country. He's a rapist. He likes to
Yeah,
grab women against the will, grab him by the woo-ha. All that crap is gonna come right back.
yeah. And
Mhm.
I think you get somebody like you get a couple of guys like Ted Cruz and DeSantis, and I think that's a winning ticket.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, uh, I know some of the Texans aren't real fond of Ted Cruz, but maybe Greg Abbott.
Yeah.
There's another one. The Abbott DeSantis,
Yeah.
Abbott Cruz,
Abbott and Costello.
no,
Who's
we've
on
already got
first?
them. That's
What's
no,
on second? I don't
no,
know.
that's who's in the White House now.
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello.
Oh,
Lloyd,
and big
I
news: Ben Sass is retiring from the Senate, so he's going to be replaced. He'll be retiring in December. He's taking a job down in your area, Adrian. He's going to be working at the University of Florida.
okay, I am a little
Yeah.
concerned that idiot Charlie Chris that's running against DeSantis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. But
yeah.
what I'm hearing, the polling has DeSantis has he's above 50%.
I
So
understand, but I've seen those numbers above and they still lose anyway. Because
uh,
I mean, right now we're in 2022, about to be 2023, and to be honest with you, Art, I did not. When I was gonna wake up Wednesday, the day after the election, I did not think that this idiot was gonna be president. But when I heard
mhm.
about it, I actually did not want to go to work that day.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
I
guys,
think.
we've covered
wow.
over an hour, and
we
I
have.
want to thank you guys for being part of the show. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming. Hey, tell your friends about the show. Let's grow this channel. We are only 2 away from 200, and my goal is let's get to 500 by this time next year.
One quick question, before we leave. What made you change it from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.? The show.
Because I thought we'd get a bigger group here later because, well, Lloyd's friend Mel is not doing his show. And I thought, like my Saturday show, I was getting bigger crowds at a later time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, everybody. And Lloyd, what do you have to say to close out?
Well, I'm going to say what I always say. Remember, treat each other better than you treat yourself. Remember, everybody matters, even fat old white guys like me. God bless, God help the USA. I am the Grumpy Vlogger, folks. Be kind.
And Mike, your
Well,
last words?
I'll give the sentiments of Kamala Harris and say, that space is really has a lot of space in it, and it's far out there. So keep that in mind. Right?
Okay. And Adrian, closing words?
Okay. I kind of like what Mike said. I'm going to kind of reiterate a little bit what Kamala Harris said. I like hot dogs. Do you like hot dogs? I want ketchup on my hot dogs. Hey, don't forget the hot dogs. Don't forget the ketchup. Good night. See y'all later.
And we say bye-bye.
Lloyd,
Bye-bye, folks.
Lloyd, I thought you would like that one. Hey,
I
don't
did.
forget ketchup. Ketchup is good. See
No,
y'all later.
no, no. Mustard.
All right, let's.
Mustard too. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't like